So today I have to start this, right?
Yes, you get to start
Yeah.
this.
So hello everyone. Good afternoon, morning, and evening for all the people joining from different parts of the world. Let me introduce myself. I am Shivang and I am student of Master of Software Engineering at Penn State University. Um, so astrology is also one of my hobbies, and this is how I and Samantha got connected a few months back. Today, I'll be acting as a moderator come interviewer on behalf of every one of you and ask few questions to Samantha. Uh, and then later she can continue with her live session that she does every Saturday. So Samantha, are you excited?
I am, and maybe a little
Mhm.
bit nervous.
Okay. So before that, do you want to say anything? Because I'll be bombarding with you three, four questions.
No, I think, I'm ready and I'm really excited about everybody getting to know me a little bit better.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the first question is, why did you decide to start your coaching business?
Yeah. So I decided to start my coaching business because I went through a pretty big transformation myself about a couple of years ago. And I went down quite a few different avenues in search for answers why my life felt cursed, why I'm having the same cycles or the same events happen in again and again. So I was looking for solutions. And it just seems that every road that I went down, um, there wasn't really a solution. And it seemed to be false information that led me just down a deeper, darker road, if you will. And well, what I did find on some of my roads or avenues that I researched, that there was elements of truth, just not the entire truth or the entire solution. So I started keeping notes and I kept my research. And I tell you what, I spent a lot of time, a lot of hours, money, and resources doing this research. And I think I really found something that's very solid, practical, and logical, that people can actually use in their life. So that's why I'm here to share everything, and the true authenticness of transformation and change in people's lives. So
Okay.
that's why I'm here.
Yeah. So you said that you have been researching it's a long time, but I think it hasn't been too long since you started this service and business. Uh, I think it's a good time to think that what changes have you seen in people's perspective about you, and also that what are the you have been interacting with a lot of people, right? So what do you think is the current perspective of people on the world, the current scenario?
Right. So I think that people are really still getting to know me. I think when they first started coming to my group and to my channel, they were expecting an ordinary astrologer, and they found something a little bit different. They're finding that I'm more interested in their state of mind. I'm more interested in what's going on with them emotionally and how they can transform and change their life and take control of it. I don't really buy into that everybody is just fated in their life. I do believe that we can create our own life. So they're getting somebody or something just a little bit different. I can read tropical astrology as well as Vedic, even though I love my nakshatras and I really do stick with that. I'm not too big into predictions. I will kind of, let people know what's going on energy wise, if it's going to be a tough week or not. But really, they need to be the controller of their own life. And I think that's most important, that I see that a lot of astrologers have missed. They're looking for somebody to tell them, what they're going to do a certain day. And really, that's not what living life is all about. It's about you making that decision, not letting somebody else make that decision for you. As far as what I'm seeing in people's perspective now, that I think some people are waking up to, they've been fed false information. And through this awakening, I really feel that there are some people who are actually really angry. I've actually run into groups that from India that are against astrology, and they're speaking out loudly against the astrology. Now, I'm also, though, still seeing people who are just scared because the times are changing and they don't know how they're changing. Their future is uncertain. Their income has been dwindled down or has ended. So that puts people in a lot of fear, and people are acting out of fear right now and not sure where to turn to. So they're looking for a magic answer. They're looking for that magic button. And they're going to be disappointed that there's no magic button. This is all about them changing their spirituality into a true transformation, and they have to act on it. They have to change their mindset. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty descriptive answer. So, as you mentioned, for the first part of your people's perspective about you, uh, they initially thought that you might be their everyday astrologer, but you are not. So that leads to my next question, that then what do you plan to change? Because you need to change their mindset that okay, you are not here for everyday prediction, you are here for something that they can change their life forever. So what do you plan on doing? How do you plan on doing that?
So, one of the ways that I plan on doing that is I think that I need to probably be a little bit more descriptive in regards to like my self-awareness chart readings. And knowing, even though I may not be quote unquote predicting your future, that chart reading really is about digging into how you process information, how you work and integrate that information, and what are the things that you can really count on in life to get you through the good and bad times. But it also will really show out your strengths and where in your chart that you need to work on to strengthen. Because everybody has weaknesses, and you can really take control of your life and make some really, really good decisions when you come into that self-awareness, that you know your triggers, you know what your skill set is and how you're going to react or respond to something. It's amazing transformation in your life. So I don't care what culture you're from or what your chart says. I'm telling you, self-awareness is where it's at, that emotional intelligence. Also, I am going to be bringing out a new style of the weekly transits. And I'm going to bring it out into more of a newscast format. And I'm bringing on Michelle Cookhill also. She does tropical astrology, but something that's upbeat. It's going to be fun. It's something that everybody can laugh, but it's also going to be relatable to their everyday life. So instead of just coming on here and saying, oh, well, the moon's going to be here today or there tomorrow, we're going to be able to really act out and really bring in some humor on how it looks into people's lives. So I really think that entertainment purpose is going to be really important. People need to laugh. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to kind of pick it up a little bit, go a different route, if you will. Also, by trial and error, I'm going to be kind of switching over my leveling up programs to something that is a product that can be purchased rather than trying to schedule online courses. I do find that people's schedules not all the time works with the live sessions. So I think they're going to get a lot more information out of it. They can look at it and watch it on several different occasions throughout their week on their time. So, and it'll be available as soon as they purchase it. And I think that's going to, I think a lot of our clients and customers will love that. It's more customer service friendly. Of course, I will be there to answer questions. They just have to email me.
Okay, great. So adding humor and fun to understand such obscure study will definitely help people, and they will be more engaging. So this was it from my side. Uh, I hope that people would have got some insight about how you plan to do your business in upcoming days. And if anyone has any questions, they should drop the comment in the current live session, or they can email or send message to Facebook, send message on Facebook to Samantha. uh, so thank you for answering these questions, and I think you can continue with your live.
Thank you. So now I know that I did just a huge transit video just the other day, yesterday. So if you wanted a little bit more detailed and more descriptive on where the planets are, or how the full moon is transforming our lives, or just the last full moon, catch that video on YouTube, okay? But today we're just going to kind of go into where the moon's at, and if there's any major transitions for planets, so we could get the general idea on how we're going to feel each day. So, and today, of course, the moon is in Ravati, and Ravati is associated with the planet Mercury. So again, this is a good placement for the moon, because this is all about global affairs. It's about how we're relating to each other on a global scale and out in society. And it could be a really healing nakshatra. So the moon sits pretty comfortable. So I think our communications today could be a little bit more direct, a little bit more business and professional like, but at the same time, people will get a very nurturing and healing aspect from the moon today. And Shiv, how is the moon treating you today?
It's been really good. I've been feeling a little bit more positive than the days of this week. Uh, I hope to have a great start of the weekend today. Till now, it's going pretty good. It's already afternoon here. So I think whatever you're saying is it's relatable at the moment.
At the moment, yes, yes. Now, tomorrow the moon is going into Ashwini, and I let you. I have to tell you, Ashwini is a nakshatra, and it's really about healing. And K2 is associated with this nakshatra. But however, what's going to flavor this moon going into this nakshatra is Mars is sitting there. And so we need to be careful of quick tempers, and the words that we use, to make sure that they stay in a loving and healing way, because people's minds can get triggered. It's just something really quick and trigger their anger, and they can speak out of frustration. So just be really careful as far as moods go. Your state of mind is happening in Ashwini. And what is your, Shiv, your experience with the moon being in this nakshatra?
So when moon is in Ashwini, definitely, as you mentioned, that it's about healing. But at the same time, if it's the Lord is Ketu, so now moon and Ketu are two planets which determine kind of like, so moon definitely determines mind, but Ketu is more about detachment. So there can be a conflict at times depending on what nakshatra is your moon in your natal chart. But in general, it's a very tricky combination.
Yeah, I find that people's tempers more often they can lose their head in temper, um, because it's not a very good feeling. It's an uncomfortable feeling. So you may be delivered news that really that can trigger you. So just be aware of that that can happen. Now the moon after Ashwini is going to on the 7th go into Bharani, and now this nakshatra is um, associated with the planet Venus. But however, it's not what I would call more of a luxury type of nakshatra. It can be very harsh, and it is about endings. Yama is the deity that rules over this nakshatra. So, we may come up with some decisions to end something in our life, or something, or an event just may end, good or bad. It can go either way. It really depends on where you're at in your chart. But Bharani, we may have to make some really difficult decisions. But however, Venus is in Punavasu, and it is about returning to the light. Sometimes to return to the light, we have
Mhm.
to end something. And Bharani is an excellent nakshatra for a symbol of a pregnant woman, that
Mhm.
she has to give birth. So the baby's coming into the light from darkness, right? But that birthing process is really, really painful.
Mhm.
So this is what can happen with our businesses, or anything that we may be working on or going through in our life. This could be, but to know that transformation though is all about you returning to the light. So did
Mm.
you want anything that you want to add with that, or?
So my knowledge about nakshatra is very limited. So whatever
Okay,
I have known is from you only. So I I don't think I would be able to add anything more. So
perfect.
my only thing I would be able to add is probably when you talk about moon in Rohini. I'm not sure if will be coming in Rohini by the end of the
Oh,
week.
it will be. So on the
Okay.
8th, it's going to be going into Kritika. And
Mhm.
again, this nakshatra is ruled by the sun, but it could be very cutting. So it just kind of, stays along the same theme that, about, cutting off the excess, getting down to the reality. It's a very cutting nakshatra. And sometimes to get to the real, you have to cut off the fake,
Mm.
right? So this is all about us cutting out things that are not necessary in our life. So really, you guys take that opportunity and chance to really look at yourself and see what is really necessary and what's not. And be real about it, right? Don't be egotistical about it. Cut away your ego, if you will. This is about really coming down to your true and authentic self. Then on the 9th, it goes into Rohini. And the moon in Rohini is absolutely just beautiful. And it does want to rest, it does want luxury, but again, it's also very business minded, and it loves partnerships, and it loves marriages. It's
Mm.
Taurus, and it wants good food also. So it really wants to be surrounded by family, by loved ones, and wants to be very productive in this nakshatra. This is the moon's favorite nakshatra, Rohini.
Mm.
The moon loves Rohini. So I don't know if there's something that you wanted to add to that, or.
Yeah, so uh, what I have observed with Moon being in Rohini, and Rohini is all about exotic and all, but most importantly, it it wants to feel comfortable in the surround. So mostly you will see people with Moon in Rohini, and if it's connected with the fourth house, and if all the other combination of fourth house is there, then they would build a good house. But with Moon in Rohini, they will prefer to have a house near water bodies, or where they feel serene, or they feel very comfortable, calm. So that is this aspect of Rohini that I have observed.
Yes. And and you guys may not know this, but actually our farmers, people who tend to farms and orchards and stuff, they usually have very prominent planets in the nakshatra of Rohini. So this really is about commerce and business. It's a very business-minded nakshatra. So depending, of course, on the planets that you do have in there and your aspects, but it's a beautiful nakshatra. Now, I did wanted to mention the moon, when the moon is heading into Kritika and Rohini, those 2 days on the 8th and 9th, you guys, Mars is stationing. And what that means is Mars is coming to a stop, or what appears to be a stop in our sky. And that energy of Mars is going to get really, really strong. So guys, please watch your thoughts, watch your tempers, keep your heads about you. And we may be expecting some events, unexpected events that are going to happen in the weather even, and worldwide, but also in your life. And of course, it's according to your chart and your dasa period. So, but we just want to make sure Mars coming close to the earth like this and in this particular chakra can trigger really hard events in our life, accidents, right, disasters, war, even, you guys, and natural disasters. But again, it's at the same time, though, it's a really good chance for us to dig inside, to meditate, and go inward and not outward. If we're feeling frustrated, if we feel like we're going to lose our head or our temper, this is a really good time for inward healing, because the Ashwini Nakshatra is all about healing, you guys. It's the Kumar twins. So be careful going after your desires blindly and going after a desire where you hurt other people. Going after the desire that you don't care about the consequences, you just want that desire. Be really careful, because this nakshatra carries that theme also. So, and then on the 10th, moon is going to go into Mrigashira, and it's going to be joining Rahu, of course. So, and I'm sorry, it's the 9th and 10th that the Mars goes stationing. It was on the 8th is when Mercury goes into Hasta, which is very business-minded. So it's a good placement for Mercury to be in that Hasta Nakshatra. But anyways, fast forwarding to the 10th, Mars goes into Mrigashira, moon does. And Rahu is there. So again, the same theme about our desires. Really keep control. Don't just blindly go after a desire because it sounds good and that's what you want to do. And Mrigashira is ruled by Mars. So this is going to be very triggering for people. Please be careful, watch your triggers, emotional intelligence and self-awareness. Mrigashira is all about chasing, right? Hunting, chasing, researching. And even though it has a deer as a symbol, but again, you'll find hunters. Hunting could be a huge theme. So just really be careful with your desires. Keep them under control. Be wise.
Great information.
And that's it. That's all I wanted to share today on the transits was the moon. So
Perfect. I hope that people will get some insights and they will definitely take care on 9th and 10th when Mars is very is ready to be violent.
right. And remember, the 10th can be very, very triggering for people, as well as 8th, 9th, and 10th. You guys just be careful. Watch out.
Okay.
It's going to be a tough one.
Yeah. Thank you for the insights.
You're welcome. Thank you. I will see you guys next Friday.
See you. Bye bye.
Namaste.
Namaste.